So what we might do to get started with, Mr Meixner, can you tell us a little bit about Dialogue Week, what it is and how it was that St Gabriel's engaged with it?
Dialogue Week is something that's been put in place by the Archbishop of Adelaide in the Archdiocese. And it's a process that's really trying to engage different people from different communities to have a say in what they think the church should look like, where they think the church might go in terms of welcoming new people, retaining current parishioners. And the process is to try and talk to as many people as possible. So at our school, at St Gabriel's School, we've asked children from reception through to year 6. We've asked our staff. We've asked our school board. On the weekend, I went and asked our parishioners at church. And there'll be even groups that are asking people in universities, people in nursing homes, people in all sorts of places that people are connected with the church, the Catholic Church. So can I ask a question?
Absolutely. Go for it, Mr Meixner. Yeah.
So, Kavya, as a person of different faith, what are some things that you, as a person who is not Christian, what do you see that happens in the Catholic Church that maybe is something that you're familiar with in your own faith, your own culture?
I think like in Catholic events, like they have lots of events, and mostly sometimes in my culture they have lots of events too.
Yeah.
And they mostly, basically, they're like technically the same.
Yeah.
With different gods and things.
Because I had a big talk with your dad about the Hindu festival Holi. And after I spoke to your dad about it, I was scratching my head thinking, why are we different? Because it was all about light. It was all about new beginnings. It was all about journeys together, about friendship. And I thought, well, that's exactly what Catholics do.
Yeah, it is, and it's always interesting to me that it's really just the same idea and the same way of being a good person in the world. I forget who I heard the other day, but it was really about someone saying ultimately all religion is basically love God and love your neighbor. Everything else is kind of window dressing in a lot of ways, which is that they're the fundamental things that really matter. And
really simple.
Yeah, definitely.
Kavya, what do you like when we go to Mass at the church or at school?
Sometimes the songs are like very entertaining.
Yeah. And could I ask the people that go to Sunday Mass, either here at Clearview or Vietnamese church, do you like the music that's there on Sunday Mass?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yes.
You do? Well, that's good to hear, because sometimes it's not always aimed at young people, is it?
I'm going to ask you a bit of a hypothetical question, a make-believe question, all right? And to see what you think. If Jesus was to walk into the school right now, right this moment, besides everyone looking busy, what do you think, if Jesus walked into the school, knowing what you know about him, what do you think would be the things that he might want to change about the school?
Less littering.
Less littering, and why would that be?
Because it can kill animals in the ocean and everywhere.
And Jesus calls to us to be stewards to God's creation, doesn't he? Yeah, that's really, really important. That's lovely. You guys were talking a bit about liking the music and liking the stuff. From each of your sort of like respective sort of churches and backgrounds and stuff, what are the ones that you really like? Can we start with you, Ashley, if that's all right?
Okay. So I go to a Christian church, but other religions come there too. And I like that there's a lot of people who are like, like there's multicultural things at our church. Like we do like multicultural events and stuff. And I also like the praising and worshiping, and that there's a lot of people.
So when you say people from other religions come too, other religions or sort of like other cultural backgrounds?
Cultures.
Other cultures, yeah. Like, is there any one particular moment in the sort of the service or over the course of when you're there that you really like, if you had to choose one moment?
I get to do some stuff at my church. We have a kids' church at my church, and I go over there. And I get to like be one of the producers at the back helping with it. I like that about it.
Lovely. How about for you?
I really enjoy listening to our priest's gospel.
The gospel.
Yeah.
So did you say before that you go into the children's liturgy,
Yeah,
but you also hear the gospel as well?
I sometimes
Because quite often, like in my church, they do them at the same time.
yeah, but like sometimes I like to like see like the whole entire mass, so sometimes I would just not go to children's liturgy.
Right. And what is it about hearing the priest preach the gospel that you really like?
I like how strong his words are preaching the gospel.
Yeah. Do you know what I really love about hearing when the priest preaches the gospel, and especially like the homily that comes afterwards, is that it's almost like he's talking about, you know, a book that was written so many years ago, thousands and thousands of years ago. But it's almost like whenever I hear the priest say the gospel, it's almost as if there's something in it on that particular day that makes me go, oh, that actually talks to me about how I'm feeling right now. Has a moment like that ever happened for you? Yeah, that's wonderful. Great. How about for you? Like for you, like what's your favorite moment that actually happens during church or liturgy?
Like sometimes around Christmas, like we all get candles and we light them up.
Oh, that's a great moment, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we all get to like pass on the light with the candle.
Oh, that's wonderful. And why do you like that particularly?
Because sometimes they turn off the light, but we just get to see, like, it's really beautiful.
Yeah. I once went to a church once. I was visiting somewhere interstate. I wasn't near like home or anything like that. And I went to church at that time, and everyone gathered. It was a really, really old church, and it was in this really tiny kind of like area before the church, like before you went in. They had these really high ceilings and stuff like that, and we were all gathered together with holding the candles, and then everyone started singing like the opening hymn and stuff like that. It was really, really special, and it creates an amazing atmosphere, doesn't it, when it's all dark and everyone has the candles, doesn't it?
Yeah.
How about for you, like in your church, in your background, being from a different faith, what is it that you most enjoy if you could choose one moment?
Probably the songs, probably the best part, because everyone's like singing at the same time, and it's just really fun to hear everyone.
How about for you? What's been sort of your favorite moment of church or liturgy or music at church or anything like that?
I also like children's liturgy because, like, our teacher sums up the words from the Bible but explains them in a kid-friendly way.
Yeah, right. Bernie, can I just ask, like, for you, like, what have you sort of seen any sort of moments that happened over the course of last week, over Dialogue Week, or things that really stuck out to you as things that you went, something's really resonated here, it's been really good?
Yes, the responses from the children, I like the spontaneity of their responses and the honesty. Nowhere have I heard, you know, prayers boring or prayers this or prayers that, you know, nothing negative. It's been all really, really positive and affirming. Is that because of their parents? Is that because of the school? I think it must be a combination. So that's been really positive for me as well, just to hear that and to hear their reflections.
Do you think this has been a good idea doing this? I mean, this is a whole new thing that the Archdiocese has done to really try to sort of like inform the synod that's happening later in the year from an archdiocesan perspective for us. Do you think this has been good? Like actually like going out to sort of like every possible aspect of the Catholic Church here in South Australia, all of the different communities, all of the different areas, and going, what do you think? How do you feel? And I guess what do you, like we've been asking these guys, like what do you think is great? What would you change?
Yeah, I think there's the Enhancing Catholic School Identity project that's going on EXIA.
Yeah.
And I think for like a little snapshot of each school, I think it's been a good thing, you know. So the questions, there've been one about prayer and one about outreach and service to others. I think what children are coming back with and what communities are coming back with, I think they give you a nice little healthy snapshot of your school at that time, what the Catholic identity of your school is. Yeah. So that's been really uplifting for me. Yeah.
What I really love about, for people who don't know what EXI is, it was developed at the University of Leuven in Belgium And what it was a way of breaking out of kind of like, you know, a lot of different avenues that sort of the Catholic Church and schools have been going down over a number of years, some of which have been staying with a very sort of like an older, sort of almost pre-Vatican II model, sort of conservative version. And some have moved more to a kind of a more of a values education style of church. But what the EXI project has been looking at specifically is a way of what they call recontextualizing Catholic faith, which is to almost revitalize and reinvigorate a way of young people and people everywhere being able to look at church through a more contemporary lens. And I think in South Australia, we've been very blessed that we can do that and do that more. And from what I actually heard recently, it's like we're really one of the only states that's really embracing that. And do you feel when you walk around this school, you walk around that school, that there's real evidence that's resonating and that's very sort of like present in our culture here in South Australia?
I feel it's more at the forefront of people's minds rather than tucked away at the back.
Yeah.
Naming things, labeling things, and so for example, we have a vegetable garden. Mm-hmm. Every school has a vegetable garden, but what do you call it? And so we called ours the Laudato Si garden.
Yeah.
So, okay, that's why we have it. We don't have it just because we're growing vegetables. We have it because we're following scripture, and we're following doctrine from the church about caring for the environment. Whether it's our other branches of social outreach, lots of these things we're labeling them and naming them for what they are, for the heartbeat of the church in the school. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
I think what we need, guys, is for everyone, in the spirit of what Dialogue Week is, okay, which is all about putting forward ideas for Archbishop Pat and all of the other people in the church here to hear and go, what do you think would be the thing that if you could put forward one great idea for churches here in South Australia or your school, if you could put forward one great idea, even a little thing that you think would actually make the church even better, the school even better, what would that be? We'll sort of start here and we'll go around and we'll do that. Like if you could choose just one thing, even little, what would that be, do you think?
For school, like more religion lessons.
More religion lessons. And what would that do you think?
It would help teach people about Jesus more.
Oh, that's wonderful. How about for you?
Maybe more leadership roles for younger people.
In church or at school?
At school.
At school? That's such a good idea. What do you reckon?
To focus more on God, maybe.
Really? And what do you think that would do?
Teach people about what he did and the miracles that he did.
Such a good idea. I love that. How about you? What would you do?
I think in church they should like sometimes simplify the gospel so more people understand.
That is such an amazing idea. That's a really great one.
Sorry to ask again, but what was the question?
Oh, the question is like if you could do, because this is all going out to the Archbishop and to church people as well, and it's all about the whole thing about Dialogue Week. Really, is all about having really great ideas that you think would be cool from your perspective. Because the thing is, someone like me, I mean, look at me, bro. I'm old, right? I'm 50 years old. I'm not going to know what it is that you're thinking and what you think would be good. So what I really want to know is going like, if you could like give one suggestion that from your point of view that you think would make church even better or the school here even better, you could offer one suggestion that they can then go, you know what, that might be a really good idea. What would you say?
Maybe like they put like, more like fun songs, because like sometimes the songs are slow and directed to people who are older.
Yeah.
But like you want younger kids to learn, so like maybe put some more fun songs in there.
I think it's a fabulous idea.
Okay, so I believe that like the younger children, they should have like musicals for like only their year level.
Okay. And why would that be good, do you think?
Because they can learn how to do like speaking aloud in front of big crowds to learn when they're like older.
Okay. I think that's a great idea. These are all great ideas, Mr Meixner.
Yeah, they are. I really agree with the music and trying to break open the gospel more. Bless all of our priests. But I think there are times when there's a bit of a disconnect between what the priest is trying to get across about the gospel and how how younger people interpret it.
Yeah.
So whether, and I know this is difficult for priests, but, getting multimedia involved, videos or listening to podcasts or listening to younger people discuss what the meaning behind it is, or, given time, time's always the resource of time, giving younger people time to perhaps plan and prepare a reflection on the gospel. So that might be another way to really get younger people in. And the problem with getting younger people in is young people don't take themselves to Mass. They go with a family.
Yeah, that's right.
So how do we encourage families to go to Mass as well? That's a big question.
I was talking to one of a different archbishop, an archbishop from another state a few years ago, and I was talking about that very idea of young people being at church and how to get more young people at church, the age-old question that's there. And he said, just sort of quite matter-of-factly, he goes, well, the church reflects sort of the age and the demographic of people who are going there now. So if older people are going, then it will be for older people. If young people all of a sudden start going more, all of a sudden you'd have to change the direction of how everything is delivered to them. But unfortunately, it's a bit of a chicken and the egg argument. Until that changes, the young people won't go. So it's just an interesting little quandary that we're there. And in the meantime, I think that taking on any of these ideas that any of these young people put forward, I think would be a great step forward.
I agree. I once heard that, there's that famous fast food chain with the big golden arches.
I wouldn't know what it was. But
Wouldn't know what it was. But if you see those big golden arches, it speaks loudly to families that says, I can play, I can get something to eat, I can relax, I can, do these things. Maybe I'm not going to save a lot of money, but I can get all those other sort of things there.
And you're not going to satisfy all your 5 food groups either, I imagine.
No. And maybe there's a marketing message for the church there somehow. What is the marketing message for the church that tells families who are driving by or reading the newsletter or whatever, what is it that I'm going to get when I come to this place of celebration and worship? Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, I want to thank you all so much for taking the time to come in and chat with me today. And I really look forward to doing podcasting with you all later on in the year. Thank you very much. And thank you to Mr Meixner.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Okay.
Thanks, guys.